Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while since I recorded my last video, right? The reason is that because I was in the hyper market in the US. I don't know if you know, the hyper market is one of the biggest trade show for the furniture industry. And I was there to, talk to the clients, see the trends, and also make network, right? So, I was wrapping up my course that I'm about to launch next week. So it's been a busy month. So now, finally, I had the time to record another video for the channel. So I'm going to teach you how to create this scene. Actually, I have my reference on my right side here, and this is a reference that I got from Pinterest, and this is the render we are going to create. So this video is going to be divided in two parts. The first part is going to be just the modeling, setting up all the environment, and then the second video that I'm going to release next week is going to be about lighting, texturing, and rendering. Okay, so let's get started. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm gonna do here is actually collect all the props that I'm gonna use. So like this, I'm going to set up the entire scene, and it's going to be easier to create the walls, the window, and everything that I need to create the scene and also to light the scene. Okay, so I have, as I already showed you, this app called Connector, where I have my entire library over here. Okay, so I'm going to select the window first. So maybe this one here. It's very simple, just drag and drop it. And here we go. Okay, so I'm going to adjust it. 90 degrees, okay. So I'm going to apply an options 4, something like this. Let's take a look here. Lighting, floor lamps. So I have some floor lamps over here. Let me see, maybe this one is not the same. Actually, it's not, as I told you, is not, we are not going to create exactly the same image, but very close setup. So the configuration is going to be very close. So I'm going to use this one here. I think it's a good one. Okay, perfect. Also, let's take a look on tables. So coffee table. Let me see. Maybe this one here. Okay. Then we have this little chair. Maybe let me see, Ottoman. Maybe this one here. Let me drag and drop it here. Okay, perfect. And let's take a look on the chair. Chairs. I think I have one chair very close to this one. Armchairs. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. I have another one here. Okay. Yeah, this chair, this armchair is, I think it's very close. So, then I have like a plant outside. Let me see if I have something here. Oops, I'm not showing the connector, sorry. I have some plants from Evermotion. Maybe, can can use one of them. Maybe this one over here. Not that bad. Or maybe this one. This one's good as well. Let me see if I have other ones here. Oops. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one. Or okay, so I'm going to use this one here. So I'm going to drag and drop it. Let's wait a little bit because it's downloading for my server. So oops, I have to do it again. Okay, I'll delete this one. I think this plant is too big. Actually, the scale is wrong. So I'm going to collapse. Actually, put together all these pieces by pressing Ctrl J. I'm going to adjust the pivot and I'm going to place it in the middle, in the center of the world, and I'm going to adjust the size of it. So something like this, and it's going to be outside, so yeah. So now I'm going to set up my scene. So I'm going to set my camera. Okay, I'm going to adjust the resolution of it, something closer to this image. Okay, I'm going to turn on. I'm using photographer like to help me with some setups, but you can, of course, you can always use the way that Blender usually is, but photographer has this like lock camera to view. That's the same button over here. Okay, so it's just like easier to adjust it. So I'm going to increase a little bit more my focal length to something like this. Okay, let me see, maybe I'm too far from the objects. So okay, so let's place the objects in the right position, something like this. So I think I'm going to divide my screen here, and I'm going to adjust it by this one, and I'm going to get into the camera over here. Also, I'm going to change the display of the camera. Here on the viewport display, I'm going to increase the pass part out to 1. So like this, I can only see my composition, right? So it's a little bit better to frame your image. Okay, so I'm going to turn off this one here, thing like this. Yeah, right. So let's continue here. So I have here the table, coffee table, that I'm going to place over here. Oops, something like this. Maybe it's too close. Something like this, right? Perfect. So then I have this floor lamp that I'm going to place it over here. Okay. Right. So I'm going to turn on the rule of thirds. You have to select your camera, then go to viewport display and composition guides and turn on thirds. So like this, I have the rule of thirds over here. You can always change them, the visualization of your shading in the viewport by changing here. You have like different setups here. This one, I think it's a little better. it's lighter, brighter, and it's a little better to see the rule of thirds, okay? So looks like we are very aligned with it, okay? Something like this. It's for those who don't know how to place objects in the rule of thirds. So just a simple lesson about rule of thirds. It's important that your main object, so in my case, my armchair, to be in the intersections of those lines over here. Okay, so this one here, or this one here, or this one here, or this one here. Okay, so basically like that. Of course, you don't need like to place your objects where are all those intersections, all those 4 intersections, but one of them. So this is important, okay? So this is where usually where the user or the person that is going to see your image is going to focus their attention, okay? So it's important. So as we have the opportunity to change the other objects, I'm going to do something the same for the other one. So this one over here is not like in this middle of intersection over here, but it's like over one of these lines. So this is important as well. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna actually place my window something like this, and I'm going to bring my plant around here, and also we can add a curtain to this scene, right? So let me see if I can find one here. Oops, let me show you. I have maybe this one over here. Let me place it here. Again, sometimes it's take a little longer because I have to download it from my server. Okay, let me see if I place it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, they are a little big, but I'm going to adjust the size of it. So let me join everything together, right? And I'm going to adjust the pivot to the bottom. I'm going to place it in the middle, in the center of the world, and I'm going to scale it down, something like this. Okay, so I'm going to get into the camera again and adjust it by here on the left. Okay, something like this. I think we are very close to the composition. Okay, so let's get started and work with the walls and the floor, and I think we'll be almost done with it. So just a highlight, this is actually the way I like to create my scenes. So usually I have a reference, or I create something in my mind and I write it down, and then I place or create a mood board to illustrate what I want. And then based on this mood board or on the reference, I start creating, or actually not creating, but start placing the object, or creating, of course, if I don't have the objects. So I place the object inside the scene first, and I adjust my composition just to see how it looks. And this is like the guide for me to create the rest of the scenes, like the walls, the floor. So like this, I don't need to create extra walls, extra windows. So this is, for me, is a smart option, a smart decision. So it's easier, as you can see, like in a couple of minutes, we just create the composition. Of course, I already had the objects, very, very similar ones, but it's still like even if I didn't have like one of the objects or even all of them, I would start creating piece by piece and start placing it on the right position. Okay, so I want just to bring this heads up for you guys. So let's continue and let's start creating the walls. Okay, so for that, I'm going to create a plane. So Shift A, I'm going to mesh and then plane. I'm going to adjust the size of it. So for now, like this plane is 2 meters. So I'm going to adjust it to something like maybe 20 centimeters. 20 centimeters, yeah. So usually this is like the size of a wall, around 20, 25, okay. Right, so last step is I'm going to change here to vertex, okay. And I'm going to adjust the size of the wall, okay. In this step, sometimes it's good for you guys to turn on this snap tool over here, okay? So it's going to be easier like to create them the exactly size of each walls that we're going to create, okay? So what I'm gonna do here, I'm going to extrude this part. So I'm going to create another wall, okay? And we can do here the same thing. Perfect. I'm going to select this 2 vertex over here and this 2 vertex over here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to extrude it. Maybe, just maybe, this room is too small, so I'm going to increase it. Okay, don't worry about that. Let's increase it something like this. Okay, maybe it's too big, maybe something like this. We can then adjust the camera after all. Okay, so next step is going to be, I'm going to create, actually extrude again for the last wall over here. Perfect. So here we have, actually we already have our walls. So I'm going to actually select the floor, and I'm going to separate it. So if you select the floor and press P and then press selection, it's going to separate by selection. So now I have my floor separated from my walls. Okay, so I'm going to change to face mode, and I'm going to select everything, pressing A, and then I'm going to extrude it. Okay, something like this. Maybe you can adjust the size here. Oops. Have to go back to the object mode, and here we go. Okay, so I'm going to select it. So here we have like 3 meters. Maybe it's too high. We're going to decrease it a little bit. So maybe 260, maybe a little bit less, 250. Yeah, something like this. Perfect. Good to go. So let's create now the backyard. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to create another plane. I'm going to place it here. You can always change the snap tool here to vertex. So like this, you can align it to another vertex. So in my case, the wall vertex, and it's going to be like easier to place it in the right position. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to decrease here to 20, and I'm going to adjust it again. Perfect. Here we go. So then I'm going to go back to the vertex mode, and then I'm going to adjust the position here. I'm going to change the snap again to the incremental. Yeah, perfect. Maybe let's create just another wall like this and extrude it. So it's going to be easier. Same thing here. Okay, perfect. So let's do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm going to extrude it. And extrude it again. Okay. Perfect. So let's change the face mode. Let's separate the floor and let's bring everything down. Okay. Perfect. So I'm using an add-on called Drop. Let me see the name of it. I think it's Drop It. The name is Drop It. It's like a free add-on. You can download it on the internet. And basically what it does is just like you can, let me just turn off the snap here. Like you can place objects on the floor or on any surface. So if you press V, oops. Actually, your object needs to be collapsed. Like you have to clear all the parents, all the transformations, and I think we'll be good to go. Let me see. Yeah. Then if you press V, then it's going to be exactly on the same level of the surface. Okay. Perfect. So let's do the same thing here. I'm going to extrude my walls. So last time we used 250, I think. Let me check it. 250, yeah. So I think we don't need this wall, right? So I'm going to select it. Here we go, and I'm going to delete it. So delete by faces. Yeah. Perfect. So here we can adjust the holes. So for that, I'm going to change to edges and press Ctrl F, then press fill, and that's it. So you can always like remove these triangles. So just same thing, Ctrl F and trace to quads. So let's do the same thing here. So select the edges, then Ctrl F, fill, and trace to quads. Perfect. Let's adjust also the floor outside and place it around here, okay? And maybe just looking at my reference, I think the wall outside is not that high, so maybe we can decrease a little bit. Okay, something like this, I think. Perfect. Oops, I think I have done something wrong here. Okay, so let me select just the upper vertex and then decrease it. Yeah, something like this. Perfect. So here we have our floor, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to duplicate it by pressing Shift D and place it right here. Okay, so now we have the ceiling. So what I like to do is just add a little thickness to it. So I'm going to add a solidify, okay? And also I'm going to turn off visibility of the ceiling. So like this is going to be easier to see inside. So if you go to the object properties and then go to viewport display and turn off, actually change, not turn off, but change from bound to wire. So as you can see, we still have actually our sailing, but it's not displaying the entire mesh in our viewport. So like this, it's easier to see inside. So let's adjust our camera. So here, if you select your camera, we have this clip start. If you increase a little bit, here we go. So like this, you'll be able to see inside. So then we can add a carpet, actually a rug on it. So I'm going to add a simple box just to create a rug. Maybe we can create a plane. I think it's going to be easier. Oops, let me go back here. And let's adjust it, something like this. So I see it here. And also let's add thickness to it. Okay. And also we can add maybe a bevel. Let's add a bevel here. This is the thickness. Okay, so this is the solidify, sorry. Here. Okay, let's adjust it here. Add some segments. Yeah, here we go. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay, I think we have complete our task in terms of creating the set, right? So let me, actually not yet, right? So let me just adjust. So let's adjust the curtain over here. So now we have actually to create the hole for the window. So I'm going to change to edge mode, and let's place an edge loop around here. So I'm going to press Ctrl R. That is the shortcut to add an edge. Let me see again. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to place it here, right? And press Ctrl R again, and let's place it here. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing inside. So I'm going to press Ctrl R again. Okay. Here, and I'm going to release it, and I'm going to add another one because here, let me change. Actually, I have turn it on the path through. I'm going to turn off it, and we have added actually this edge outside. So we have to add the same edge inside. So I'm going to go back to the edge mode, and then Ctrl R, and I'm going to click and release it. So now we have these two edges that I'm going to select, and I'm going to bring it up around here. Okay, so this is going to be enough for us to make the hole. Let's isolate the walls, and I'm going to change the face mode and select this part and this part over here, right click, and then bridge faces. And I'm going to delete this guy down here. Okay, so faces, and here we go. So now I can place my window around here, and it's going to be visible outside. We have right now the visibility outside. So basically that's it. Okay, so for the last step, let's create the molding, like for the ceiling and for the floor. So to do that, I'm going to use an add-on called crown molding. So it's very, very useful. So I'm gonna show you what it does. So I'm going to change here to the edge mode. I'm going to select my wall and change to the edge mode, and I'm going to add actually, I can do it like in two ways actually. I can add like an edge and go here and create a molding, or there's another way that you can, for example, select your floor or your ceiling and go to the face mode, select it, and then press convert to crown molding, and it's going to give you the molding. Okay, so I think it's on the other side. Okay, so let's adjust it. We can here, let me see, we can change, for example, the types of molding. You can adjust, I think here the mirror, I think it's in X, right? X, not Z. Let me see. Yeah, we can adjust it right here. Let's change to something close to a floor molding. Here we go. You can adjust the scale. This is cool. Okay, let's see another one. Yeah, this one is cool. I'm going to keep it. Right, so I have actually to adjust. I'm not going to create the molding for the ceiling because it's the same process, but it's not going to be visible. Even like this floor molding, I just want to show you guys how to create it. So, and then you can adjust it after. So, have to convert it to a mesh. So like this, you'll be able to adjust it. So let's add, for example, an edge around here. Actually, let me Control Z again. I think it's the best way is like select this guy over here and then add an edge. Let me see. Something's wrong. Okay, let me take a look. Okay, got it. I actually, it's not actually it's not closing the loop. So what we can do here is actually let's Control Z everything. So like this, I think it's gonna be better we like go back to the curve mode. So like this we can divide the curve. So I'm going to select these 2 points and right click and go to subdivide. So I'm going to select again these 2 parts over here and subdivide again. So now I have like the curve, this piece of curve divided in 2. So like this is going to be easier to place, and then after convert it to mesh and then delete this middle part. So let's place it on the right position. So I'm going to bring it, select everything and bring it to the left, right? And let me select this one here, bring to the right. So maybe I'm going to hide this curtain. It's going to be easier to see where is the dot. Okay, so select everything and I'm going to bring it to the left, something like this. Okay. Now I'm going to convert it to mesh and then I'm going to delete this middle part over here. So I'm going to select everything and delete faces. Okay, so I think now it's just a matter of adjust this molding close to the framing of the window, right? And this one over here as well. Okay, perfect. So maybe just bring it to the left a little bit more. I'm going to snap it here on the edge. Yeah, here we go. I think that's it. We are good to go. I'm going to unhide everything. Yeah, so here it is. We have complete our mission. So guys, this is my way to create the scenes. I like to put all the props together, see how it's going to look, frame my camera, adjust the composition, then create the walls, and then start making all the textures that you're going to learn in the next video, and then make them the render. Okay. Okay guys, so I hope you like it. Let me know your thoughts. Also, if you have any questions, please make your comments down below. I'll be glad to answer. Okay, so thank you so much and see you in the next video.